probably... Hello, hi. Again, if you've been watching all 5 of these, I've greeted you 5 times. I guess 6 times now. But if you're skipping around, this is the final part about launching the nuke, the prep room, launch prep, launch room, whatever you want to call it, and how to properly place a nuke. We have just completed replacing the mainframe cores, and now we're moving to the control room, which is directly here upon leaving storage. To your left. You run right on through here. Literally no place else to go except up these stairs. You grab some of this ballistic fiber, some circuits here, whatever. I usually grab it just because it's on the way. And then we're here. This is the control room. As soon as you enter it, you will turn left and go up the stairs. There is usually turrets, one here, one across the way. You'll often want to kill them. And once you do, you will come to this launch control terminal, which is right at the top of the steps. Go down to the bottom and initiate launch prep. We are now in the final phase of what this is and what we're doing here. Launch prep has begun, and now we just have to deal with robots for the next 5 minutes. So the way launch prep works is fairly straightforward, like most of this has been. It requires 5 robots to come out and set up the silo to launch the nuke. The 5 robots look like this gentleman right here. He is the guy, right? He's the chief. That's why he's on top here. He's also the one that probably dies the most often. But as time progresses, over the 5 minutes that it takes, several more robots, 4 more robots to be exact, will come out and help the chief do launch prep. They will man these computers down here. Our objective is to keep them alive. If they die, time goes slower. I don't know the exact intervals of how long each one takes. But I'm assuming it's a minute per, so if one's dead, you know, it's going to take a minute longer or something like that. I don't exactly know. But the point is, we have to keep 5 up. Technically, you only have to keep 1 up, but ideally you want to keep 5 alive to complete a silo in, you know, the quickest way possible. They come out in spurts. The first guy comes out on his own, then 2 more come out, and then the final 2 come out. They come from different areas of the room. If they do die, all hope is not lost. You can go to their respective terminals from where they came from and respawn them. This gentleman, this fella, he came from right here. You talk to this terminal, and you get him back, right? And so it speeds the time back up. But it's much easier to just not lose them. I frankly get confused quite often about which one came from which, and it takes me a minute to find the robot's proper terminal, so I just try not to let them die. Sometimes, if you're lucky with the new waypoint system, a waypoint will pop up over it. But that's what we're doing now, right? We're just protecting these robots so they do not get killed, so we can launch the nuke. Okay, so launch prep is complete. Not only is it indicated by the complete bar, but the silo turns red. Now, most of the enemies, the enemy robots, will stop spawning. You'll notice that these guys are just kind of standing here now, not really being attacked by anything, so we're good to go. You don't have much to worry about at this point. So, now, having the nuke codes that we talked about in the first video come in handy, having a nuke card, so on and so forth. You come here. Bada bing. If you haven't already put in a key code, I have, so I can't put in another one. You would enter the code by going to Nuke Encrypt or whatever, or, you know, favorite Twitch streamer's channel one. You know, Twitch 76 streamer, not every Twitch streamer, and getting the code from them. Once you've put in a code for a silo, it'll work all week long. The silo codes reset every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After that, that is when you'll have to re-put in the codes. This is per character. So if you have one character and you launch all 3 silos on Tuesday, you will not have to put in the codes again until after the following Monday at 8 p.m. I've done this already this week, so I can't put in a code, obviously, but it's, you know, you've probably interacted with a keypad in this game before, and it works the same way. Alright, so this guy. So enemies don't really spawn anymore, but if there's one still alive roaming around, they can get you. Like that guy did. Anyway. Wipe your card, put in your code, come to the launch bay. The targeting computer. There are 4 general nukes that are not a waste of time in Fallout 76. The first one being up in this area. People do it to farm flora. This is for people looking to get flux. This is people farming for specific things. If you ever see that nuke, that's what's happening. They are farming for flux to turn into stable flux to make serums, most likely. Or potentially ultrasight ammo. It's not very common. It doesn't happen very often. I don't know. I've never been to this nuke zone. I don't know much about it. It doesn't do anything I need it to do. I'm guessing there's some XP to be had. I'm guessing there's some legendaries, but probably not many, so on and so forth. A common nuke you will see is the White Springs nuke, which looks something like this. The key to the White Springs nuke is getting everything in that general area except the train station. This was much more popular before, I think, patch 12. The XP was really good if you wanted to grind XP. There was lots of legendaries at max level. And now that simply isn't the case. It's generally a waste of time, but people still do it for some reason. Probably script. There's faster ways to get script than this, though. So, in my opinion, it is a waste of a nuke, but YouTubers love it for some reason. As people on Twitch call it, it is the YouTube nuke. No real reason to do it. If you're looking for legendaries or progression, there's no reason to do this nuke. But the key is encompassing everything in this area without the train station. People use the train station. Why would you nuke it? Right? So something like that gets the golf course. If you can get the safing disposal area in there, that's cool. But, you know, something around there. Something like that doesn't get the train station. Keeping the train station out of it is key. And then finally, nuking the Queen, which is what, in my opinion, you want to do. Everything else is pretty much a waste of time. There's 2 ways to do this. But so it's clear, it has to, but either way you do it, has to cover Fissure Site Prime. You'll notice other fissures throughout the map. They do not spawn the Queen, they do nothing. Scorch Beasts just come from them. If you just nuke, you know, something like that, it's not going to do anything except annoy people. But if you get Prime in there, that's how you get the Scorch Beast Queen and start the Scorched Earth event. One of the old ways of nuking the Queen looks something like this. It's actually not a great one. That's a little bit better, that's fine to talk about. The purpose being, when you nuke here, it puts the majority of the radiation zone down here. The Queen will spawn right here at this fissure site, and the people wanting to participate in the event can spawn here at drop site 9. C9, I think it is. This is the old way of nuking, because by and large, people don't use the area correctly. Around this drop site is a fence. People love to sit on that fence. We call them fence crows. When you sit on that fence and you draw aggro from the queen, it makes it impossible for her to land. If somebody on a fence or some other raised structure has the aggro of the queen, she will not land. And when she is in the air, her DR, her damage resistance, is increased exponentially. It's a waste of ammo and a waste of everybody's time. So, instead of, trying to tell people through voice chat, please don't stand on the fence, the new location that most endgame players nuke looks something like that. We eliminate the problem entirely and just nuke the fence. Reason being, down here is pretty much open land, right? It's flat enough. There are some trees that people can get up in, but they don't often because it takes a little bit more work than the fence. Some people sometimes build bases down here. It's stupid and gets in the way. It does the same thing as the fence, even though they say it doesn't, but it does. Categorically, it does. But there you go. If you do it this way, you can spawn in at the grove. This is called a grove location. This is a grove nuke. You spawn in down here, and you have this whole flat area for her to land, for people to spread out so you're not breaking line of sight on VATS, for people to move around, and generally engage the queen in a faster way. The true fastest queen kill, which is not 8 seconds, that 8-second kill was from her landing, which does not count in terms of speedrunning. Speedrunning starts when the event starts, so that 8-second kill was actually closer to 3 minutes. The fastest from event start to queen event end on a queen is about 54 seconds, done by Lost Foxy's crew. It's been tied by a few people at this point, but Lost Foxy is the one that I know off the top of my head. So credit to them for having, the world's fastest, the true world's fastest queen kill that we're aware of. I guess coincidentally, or somewhat ironically, they did it with the Drop Site 9 too. Equally impressive. But she runs with a very talented crew of endgame players. Anyway, most people nuke this way. Most people who nuke a lot and nuke often will do it this way, just because it's easier for random people who don't really know the science behind it or why we do the things we do. It's just easier. They're not tempted to sit on a fence. They're not tempted, to do all the things that people do up here to make mistakes. So, and that's it. Once you've chosen your location for the nuke, you confirm it, and you have successfully launched your first nuke. That's all there is to it. Not hard. Super simple, actually. It looks something like that on the map. There it is. There it is. What I consider a proper nuke. Is that to say, these other ones aren't proper? No, I think White Springs is a waste of time, but, you could do the other nuke if you have a bunch of people that know what they're doing. That's fine too, but this is the way I like to nuke. You don't have to do it that way. You do what is good for you and the people you are running with. There is no right way to do this. As long as the Scorched Beast Queen dies, you have done it properly. Assuming the Queen is your role. But, there it is. That's the almostADORNO lecture on silos, how I run them, and why I make decisions that I do. Again, it's not the only way, it's not the best way, and for some people, it might not even be a good way, who knows? It's a step-by-step process on my thinking, the practical application of that thinking, and which often results, at this point, probably in close to 500 silos and queen kills. Thanks for watching. Hope this is helpful in some way. If you have some other tutorials or some other things that I do that you're curious about, leave it in the comments. Thanks, guys. Thanks for checking it out. Make sure you check out my Twitch. Every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. YouTube content almost daily. Except on weekends. Otherwise, pretty much daily. Be easy. Be kind to one another. And always be awesome. Do I have anybody on my server? Korean Ricebox. I'm not going to record the queen kill. We can talk about queen kills some other time.